What's up, Goob Gang? It's your boy Goob, back with another video today. And today, I am with the one and only Leftburst.
What's up? I'm the best Baytuber around. Totally. That okay. No, I take that back. That's not true. Don't take that seriously. All right, go. Keep on going with the intro.
Okay, so today, we are going to be counting down our top 5 GT Beyblades. And this is kind of based on like the looks, but also performance. So, do you want to start off, Noah, with your top 5 or your number 5 Beyblade?
Yeah, sure. I'll start out. So my number 5 spot is Judgment Joker. Now that might be like a little surprising to some people because a lot of people like Judgment Joker. It'd probably be higher up on other people's lists, but it's number 5. I feel like that's fairly high. Anyway, Judgment Joker is an amazing attack type Beyblade. Even though it's advertised as a balance type Beyblade, usually in the competitive scene, it's used as an attack type Beyblade just because of its insane contact points and the insane amount of rubber on this Beyblade. This Beyblade with its rubber is able to knock out like every single Beyblade in the whole entire metagame. It is super awesome. Plus it has the burst stopper, the rubber burst stopper on the Beyblade, which basically makes the Beyblade unburstable on certain discs. Also, I think the trick driver is very interesting, how it changes modes in the middle of the battle. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I also agree with you. I think Judgment Joker is a great Beyblade, super good attack Beyblade.
You monster.
um,
Just joking.
but but it's actually not my top 5. It's in the top 5, but it's not the number 5 spot. And my number 5 Beyblade is Master Diabolos, and I really just like how this Beyblade has the dual spin capabilities, and when you flip it over, it's like a whole new Beyblade. And the generate driver is so cool, how it switches from attack to stamina so fluently, and there's that nice, really satisfying click that it makes when it
It's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. It's like, oh my goodness. It's more satisfying than when you put the Joy-Cons on the Switch. That's how satisfying that click is. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, yeah, but respect. Diablos is cool. It's not on my list. It was really close to being on my list. The reason why it's not on my list is just because I felt it was kind of underwhelming compared to like Venom and Erase Diabolos. Like the generate driver, don't get me wrong, it's a cool driver, but compared to the bullet driver's gimmick was so much more fun, where it shot out like a mini Beyblade. I was really hoping that if they were gonna make an upgrade to Diabolos, it was gonna have like an upgrade bullet driver that maybe shot 2 bullets out and like 2 mini Beyblades in battle. Like that would have been so awesome, but until we got the generate driver, which is still really cool, it makes a satisfying click. But I just think Venom Diabolos' gimmick was better. Also, the Diabolos gachi chip, how it fused the weight with the gachi chip, I thought that was really cool, really interesting. And they made like a really heavy gachi chip. I was expecting for them to make the same thing for Master Diabolos, but instead we just got a normal gachi chip, and then they fused the weight with the layer base, which is kind of underwhelming, seeing that we've gotten multiple Beyblades like that. So yeah, that's why it's on my list. Not because it's not cool, but because it's underwhelming.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about the bullet driver is that it's definitely prone to breaking. Like, I know a few people who have had their bullet driver break on them, which really stinks. But I think that
Okay.
yeah, but I think that the Master Diabolus driver is just really consistent, which is why I really like it.
Screw those people. My bullet driver worked fine. I don't care about them. I'm just joking. I'm not. No, stop. I don't know why I portray myself this way. Okay, but yeah. I mean, I get that. Like, bullet driver was kind of fragile. I was just hoping that they would have just made an upgraded design of the bullet driver. Like, that would have been cool. Or maybe
Yeah.
maybe not make like an upgrade design of the bullet driver. Make like bullet dash or something, and then make the disc have a similar gimmick to the bullet driver. Maybe like a projectile disc. Like, how cool would that be?
That'd be pretty cool.
And then I could actually make the full projectile Beyblade. Yeah. Then I could actually make the full projectile Beyblade. And like, cause in my video, I made the full projectile Beyblade, and it wasn't really the full projectile Beyblade because we've never got a projectile disc. But a projectile disc would have been so cool. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it might be a little dangerous though, because like metal
I
flying.
don't care. Okay, let's move on to number 4. Oh, was that number 4? Yeah, that was number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Go number 4. I'll go first, I guess.
Okay.
My number 4 slot is Imperial Dragon. Another really good Beyblade that people would probably put higher up on their list, but this is my opinion, so it's number 4 on this list. It is a really cool Beyblade. So many cool abilities, so many cool gimmicks. It has the Awakening gimmick, where basically it gains a spring-loaded gimmick, just like the charge disc. It basically turns into a God Valkyrie, except in my opinion better. Then it also exposes rubber, and then it has metal on the layer. The only problem with Imperial Dragon, in my opinion, is the base isn't like leveled with the gachi chip. It's not leveled with the teeth, which causes the Beyblade to burst fairly often. But like, granted, Takara Tomy had to nerf this Beyblade somehow, because it's just super OP. It's such an awesome Beyblade. They gave it everything, but they had to nerf it. If they didn't nerf it, it would just be like another it'd be another Lordsburg, and oh my goodness, God knows that we don't need another Lordsburg. Lordsburgen's already so OP. And yeah, I also really love the Ignition Driver. The Ignition Driver is so cool. I love how it spins one direction, then changes the other direction. It's so fun to watch, and it really changes the tides of the battle. So yeah, that's why it's number 4.
Yeah, I really like Imperial Dragon also, but it's actually not.
You monster! Stop!
It's actually not on my top 5 list, just because the Ignition Driver is just so inconsistent for me. And
I mean, yeah, fair enough, but you're wrong.
And a lot of times it it knocks itself off balance, and it's really hard to angle launch it or like sliding shoot.
Oh yeah. That's very true. But I feel like you don't need to tilt launch Imperial Dragon, because
it just really scrapes a lot.
It goes back to the center of the stadium. Yeah, that's true. Like, when you get an attack type, you want to tilt launch it. So the fact that you can't tilt launch Imperial Dragon. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You're still wrong, but
okay. So I guess I'll tell you my top 4
Also,
now.
by the way, guys, these are just our own opinions. If I make fun of Goob, I'm sorry, Goob. I don't mean it.
No, you're good. Okay, so my
yeah,
fourth...
what's your number 4?
Yeah, my 4th Beyblade is Judgment Joker, which we've already talked about. And I really like Judgment Joker just because it's been one of the top tier attack layer bases for so long now, like probably a year.
Yeah.
And it's just so good. It literally is like the best attack layer base, I think, and it has so much power. It's so fun to use. Even the stock combo is really fun to use, because the driver is really like interesting how it just switches in the middle of the battle. So that's really why I just love Judgment Joker so much. And I also just think that it looks really cool too, and the rubber pieces are awesome. It has like burst stoppers too. Overall, it's just a really good attack Beyblade. So that's pretty much why I like Judgment Joker.
Yeah. I was talking to Goob off camera about this, but conspiracy theory. The reason Takara Tomy knows that Judgment Joker wears down over time, so they made Judgment Joker a super good attack layer, so that when it wears down, it forces the consumer to buy more Judgment Joker, so they make more money. That's probably not true, but I just like conspiracy theories because they're funny to think about, and yeah. Very good. Okay, let's move on to number 3. You want to go first, Goob?
Yeah, I think you're going to be really surprised by my number 3 spot.
Okay.
And probably mad, but it actually goes to Prime Apocalypse.
What? Why is it so high? Okay, in my opinion, I think that's really high for Prime Apocalypse.
Okay, well...
Yes, I don't know what... I mean, it's cool. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, it's cool. But I don't think it would even hit my top 5.
What?
Like, it's not even my top 5.
Okay, let me explain. So first off, the infinite lock system is super cool. It's like a whole new thing, and mine's literally never burst for me ever.
Same. It's never bursted.
Like, literally ever. Even though there is like that slight chance it can burst, like it never does. Like it never actually gets hit in that spot.
Definitely. Mine's never bursted either, so there you go.
And the other thing I like about it is the Ultimate Reboot Dash Driver. I love Ultimate Reboot so much. I've loved it ever since it first came out. I used to use it on Nightmare Longinus because it was really fun, and with the with the like the new spring in it, it's even better, and it's actually usable again. And I also just love how it looks like Excalibur a little bit with the sword. And I think that the colors are really cool, and just overall, it's like a really good Beyblade. Even it is a little bit light, which kind of
You know,
stings.
I have no reason to hate Prime Apocalypse. Like, no reason at all. It's a solid Beyblade. I just don't like it. I mean, it's not, I like it. It's not. It's there's nothing special about it in my eyes. Like, it has the infinite lock system or whatever, but I feel like the infinite lock system's not very good for attack because I feel like when the Beyblade clicks, because it's so easy to click with the infinite lock system, it kind of sponges the hits from the Beyblade when it goes for like strong attack hits. Like the clicks will sponge the hits, which makes it worse for attack. So yeah, I don't know. It's just not one of my favorites. It's not a bad Beyblade in my opinion, but it's just not up there for me.
Okay, you want to go with your number 3 now?
My number 3 is Heaven Pegasus.
Oh my
and I know what most
gosh.
people are thinking. Okay, stop. I know what most people are thinking. Why the heck is
Thanks.
Heaven Pegasus your number 3? Like, that's the worst Beyblade ever. I know a lot of people flipping hate Heaven Pegasus, but I don't know what it is. I love Heaven Pegasus. I love its gimmick. I love its look. I love the way it performs in battle. Like, the colors
Just
are
sit
just
still.
so nice. Exactly. It's so consistent. I'm trying to okay, shut up. I'm trying to find a way to justify why I like Heaven Pegasus. I don't know. I just like it. Is that so bad? I just like it. I
Yeah.
just like it. I look at it and I was like, this is cool.
I understand why you like it, like for the looks. I think it looks really cool, and it's a Pegasus, which is awesome. So I understand that part of it. But
Yeah.
the gimmick's just not that good, honestly. It's cool, but it doesn't really work that well.
I like the gimmick. I think it's super creative how it can regain clicks. Like, that's so awesome. It's a really cool concept.
Yeah, it's really cool, but Dread Bahamut kind of already got the gimmick before it, so it's like they just remade the same gimmick, which is why I didn't really...
But Pegasus is cool. I don't know. I have no counter argument. I don't know. It's a cool color scheme. The colors look nice.
100%.
It's just a cool I just like it. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I just like it. Okay, I just like it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, let's move on. Let's not make fun of me anymore. Number two.
Okay.
I'll go first because speaking of Dread Bahamut,
Uh-oh.
bro, guess who's in number 2? Wizard Fat. No, I'm just joking. Dread Bahamut.
Really? Dread Bahamut?
Yes, Dread Bahamut's my number 2. I don't know why, but I always thought Dread Bahamut had such an awesome design. The Bahamut line in general, Arc Bahamut and Dread Bahamut.
Arc Bahamut was nice.
Perfect. In my opinion, it's the best Dragon Beyblade that they've ever released. They perfected the dragon design in Dread Bahamut. It's just such an awesome color scheme. The purple, the black, the red, and the green. I feel like it mixes so well. And again, like you said, it has Heaven Pegasus gimmick, except it does it better. So that's really cool as well. I also really like the driver on Dread Bahamut, the metal orbit. I remember when that came out, I was so hyped because it was like every kid's dream when the regular orbit came out. Like, I remember that coming out on Wild Wyvern, having the first like free spin ball driver, and that was crazy. But I remember getting it and being like, okay, this is cool, but what if it was metal? And then they released it, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome, and it's on Dread Bahamut. This is amazing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it is a really cool Beyblade. I just don't think it's in my top 5. Like, the wall frame used to scrape a lot with it, and I didn't like that. And
that's true. But I don't know. I think it looks nice. I like the wall frame. I think it looks nice.
I agree, it looks nice. And I really do like the Bahamut line. But I think that number 2 is pretty high up, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I just really like Dread Bahamut. I really like the color scheme, and it's just such a cool Beyblade. And I love the way it performs as well, because it's like I feel like it's better at spin stealing than Fafnir, surprisingly.
Really? That's funny. I really haven't used it that much because it just never like was one of the Beyblades I just was really interested in, I guess, for some reason. But I think it's really cool, and I really liked Arc Bahamut. And I think it was like, I don't know how competitive it was.
I feel like it was somewhat competitive when it first came out at Spin Steel, because again, it was fairly round, and what was I gonna say? Yeah, so it was fairly round, and yeah, I don't know. It's a cool Beyblade. It's a good Beyblade. I like it. It's an amazing Beyblade, and it comes with the red Gen weight or whatever,
really cool.
And the red Gen weight's the best weight. Yeah, it's the coolest color of weight.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on to my number 2. which is Lord Spriggan, and I know you're gonna be really mad.
You monster! Why is it not a number one? Wait, I just spoiled my number one spot. But you monster! Why is that not an? Okay, I want a valid reason on why it did not reach number one. Give me a valid reason.
Okay, my valid reason is the driver. I'm not a big fan of the Dimension driver because it just always switches. Like,
okay, that's, but like, okay, you're not a huge fan of the driver, but that's only 1/3 of the Beyblade parts. Like, the other parts are so awesome.
yeah, that's true. I think that like the layer itself is so cool and it looks awesome and it's really good competitively. Ever since Legend Spriggan came out, like after that point, I started to like Spriggan less in general just because it got like so much hype every time a new Spriggan came out. And I kind of just didn't like how like everybody was just obsessed with Spriggan, and it just kind of got annoying to me, I guess. And I feel like Legend Spriggan was my favorite one, and ever since then I just haven't liked it quite as much, just based on looks, not based on performance.
That's true. I feel it's like a middle school relationship. The spark just isn't there anymore. Am I right? But I don't know. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
That's still pretty high. Yeah, that's really high. Number two. But it's just such a good Beyblade. It's so cool. Okay. I'm just gonna move on to my number one slot since
wait,
we're
what was your number
talking
two
about...
spot? Did you say number two?
Dread Bahamut was my number
right.
two.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna move on to my number one spot since we're already talking about Lordsburg. Obviously, Lordsburg's my number one spot.
Yeah.
I don't even I mean, I kind of get your justification, but I feel like it's just too good of a Beyblade not to be number one. It's literally the perfect Beyblade. Takara Tomy didn't nerf this thing at all. You know how Imperial Dragon got nerfed where its teeth weren't leveled with the layer base? This guy, it has everything. It has rubber on the layer, it has metal on the layer, it's dual spin, so it can abuse the rubber on the layer because it can literally spin steel from any Beyblade. If your opponent goes right spin, you go left spin, you beat it left after death, you beat it spin steel. Your opponent goes left spin, you go right spin, and you still spin steel. It abuses the spin steel capability, and it is just so awesome. Also, it has...
Wait, but you can't change the spin, like, in the middle of a battle?
WBO tournaments, but if you're just battling against a friend, like... Yeah, Street Battle. Well, think about it. Before Spriggan Requiem, you could do that, but before Spriggan Requiem, there was a rule that you could change modes or change spin direction during battle. But when Spriggan Requiem came out, that Beyblade was so OP that they had to change the rules.
Yeah,
so the fact that the Beyblade was so good that the WBO had to change the rules on it just proves how amazing the Spriggan line is. And like I mean that was Spriggan Requiem, but I feel like the same concept applies to Lordsburg. Also, it has burst stoppers. It has like the little burst stoppers on the side, the plastic burst stoppers. This Beyblade is so hard to burst. I think I've only bursted is not a word apparently. It just burst. I've only burst Lord Spriggan once, which is crazy. And then again, the parts on it are amazing. You get the Blitz disc, which the Blitz disc is the heaviest, or not the heaviest, but one of the heaviest discs in the game, and it's just amazing. And the Dimension driver, I mean, I get why you don't like it, but I just think the Dimension driver is really versatile on the way you can, because it has like a billion modes or whatever, it has infinite modes, and also it's a dash driver, making the Beyblade even harder to burst. Just such a good Beyblade. Also, I've loved Spriggan all my life. Just kidding, because Spriggan came out like 2000 something, but and I'm older than Spriggan. But I've loved Spriggan ever since Spriggan ever came out. Ever since I got into Beyblade, even when Spriggan was bad, even when people didn't really like Spriggan,
no one liked it
I
then.
stuck with Spriggan all the way through until we got Lord Spriggan, which is the most OP Beyblade ever. Which is crazy to think about, going from something like Singularity Spriggan, Storm Spriggan, that burst against everything and was a horrible Beyblade overall, to Lord Spriggan, one of the best Beyblades in the game, if not the best Beyblade in the game. So yeah, that's why Lord Spriggan's my number one. It's a really cool Beyblade. I love it.
That makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna say my number one, which is Zwei Longinus, and I know that Noah does not like Zwei Longinus, but I think it's a really good Beyblade because not only is it super heavy and has big metal hit points, but it also has a dash driver, And I mean, the Drake disc isn't really anything special, I'll admit, but the colors of it look awesome. I love like the white colored layer, and I think it lived up to the Longinus name, unlike Bloody Longinus. And it just was super good and still is really good. It's super competitive, and it reminds me of Nightmare Longinus with the metal hit points being super big, making these big smash attacks, which I really think is what Longinus is about. Ever since Lost Longinus was released, Lost Longinus was the first layer with metal on it, and that was just so cool. It was awesome, and now they're like continuing that. They've been, they're keeping the big metal hit points on the layer, and they really didn't nerf the Beyblade at all, unlike Bloody, which was nerfed.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one. It's not even my top 10, I think. Not even my top 10. Why Longinus? No, okay, here's
how do you not like
I
Spy?
think, okay, in my opinion, like, you like it because it's an upgrade version of Bloody Longinus. I would have to admit, yes, it's better than Bloody Longinus, but Bloody Longinus had pretty low standards.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's so underwhelming compared to all the other Longinus that we've received in the past. Here's the Longinus tier list. Nightmare Longinus is the best Longinus we've ever received. Then Lost Longinus, then Zwei Longinus, then Bloody Longinus. It doesn't have the same flair, the same magic, in my opinion, that Nightmare Longinus and Lost Longinus had. And plus, the Spiral Dash, like, really, Spiral Dash? Like, come on.
I mean,
like,
Spiral
really,
Dash, yeah. I guess Spiral Dash isn't anything great, but it is kind of a fun driver, even though it's not competitive. It still is fun to use, I think.
Okay.
And the layer base is super competitive, which makes up for the driver, I think.
Yeah, okay, it is a very good Beyblade layer. I feel like our opinions on Beyblades differ.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you like the more competitive aspect of Beyblades. Well, I just like how they look.
Yeah, I think that's
Maybe.
Yeah, and I try to like look at both sides, but I guess sometimes I like more competitive.
All right, well, that was our list. I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised that Goob put Zwei Longinus above Lordsburg, but it's his own opinion, so I'm not gonna say anything. Besides, you're wrong. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Stop.
I also feel like there's like a lot of nostalgia with each Beyblade that we like.
Yeah.
Which kind of like sways our opinions.
Yeah, it's nostalgic because like it's cool because it kind of feels like you grow up with the Beyblades.
Yeah, exactly.
You get this nostalgic feeling from them.
Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Leftburst 2. Do you have anything else you want to say, Noah?
Leftburst out.
All right, that's it for this video. See you guys in the next one.
Bye.